These 8 towers in Business Bay alone gave me up to 10% cash ROI and over 20% on mortgages. Yep, no hype, just numbers. I wasn't sure if I wanted to reveal the exact towers where I invested, but I respect my community and I'm sure you'll appreciate full transparency. So here you go, full access. I'll even pop up a title deed for my best performing unit, which returned 27.34% on a 2080 LTV mortgage. So just you know that I'm not talking theory, I actually own them. All I ask in return is a big thumbs up to help more people discover this video. And if you truly want to support our unbiased community, hit subscribe so we can grow together, reach more investors, have more exclusive deals and offers. But now let's get into the good stuff. First tower, and that's the one that actually returned me the most amount ROI because it was my first mortgage tower on 2080 LTV, is Zada Tower in Business Bay, made by the MAC developers. It's a 1-bedroom focused tower with only that type of units available, making it one of the most affordable entry points in Business Bay. Besides the direct access to the metro and constant interest from the tenants, trust me, the demand is always on top. It's actually located in a really good area and it's actually giving you access as a resident to walk towards Dubai Mall. On this unit specifically, I was a little bit more privileged than what is it happening right now because I bought it in the COVID times and I really benefited with some really good prices, which in return gave me such amazing numbers. But even right now, if you're looking into the market and there you can find really amazing options from around 950,000 dirhams to 1.2 million, while the rent for an unfurnished unit on a higher floor would be around 80,000 dirhams and on a furnished unit will be up to 110,000 dirhams. And that is only on a long-term contract, which returns you almost 10%. So if you want to do Airbnb, you're actually looking for even more because first of all, it's located really in a great place for Airbnb. Everyone who comes to Dubai, they mainly want to stay either in Marina or downtown. So that's specifically for the tourists who come for a week or two, but even for the young professionals who are coming to Dubai and they just want their first place, that would be a really good Airbnb to get. It's modern, affordable, and in constant demand. And actually everything around the tower is also very, very highly demanded. The thing is, why I specifically mentioned this tower is because this is one of the most recent launches or actually recent deliveries from the MAG because it was actually launched quite a few years ago. But it was delivered in 2023 and they really upscaled their delivery, at least in the design, because before this I really didn't like their designs. It was full of gold and some not really attractive options for the mass market. But with this tower and couple of two other ones, which I will mention later in the video, they really nailed it. With Dubai's growing digital nomad and young workforce, Zada is a no-brainer for rental income. The other two towers that I wanted to mention, and they're very similar to Zada, is Reba and Vera towers, which are two more or less twin towers made by Damak, also in Business Bay, and just a little bit further right, if you look on the map, closer to Dubai Mall and also closer to the canal, which is quite good because you can access the running trails on the canal and you can also go to do your shopping in Dubai Mall, which is really convenient. You don't even need a car. Twin towers with fantastic canal views, at least for now, until there are no other bigger towers being built, although I think there are some in progress. But still, if you get on the higher floor, you will always have some pretty good views, either with the canal or with the downtown and Burj Khalifa. These two towers are also 1-bedroom towers focused, but they also have 2 bedrooms as well. always in demand from professionals and super Airbnb friendly. Great price point, high occupancy. Yes, not the best quality because they really did it in bulk, so it was more of like a supply game there. However, for you as an investor, this doesn't really matter because you still have the warranty from the Mac, 1 year post handover, and both are actually prime for both short and long-term rentals. If you're into hybrid investing, which I also prefer, Airbnb plus short or long terms, Reba and Vera perform incredibly well. And honestly, I wasn't sure if I want to share this, but they really do, so check them out. Number 3 is a quiet gem also by the Mac, and this is Canal Views. Lower profile because it's an older building, but with really strong rental demand and also rental yields because the actual sizes of the apartments, because it was built earlier back in the days, it's actually larger than the new ones. It consistently performs above expectations. Another reason why I chose to mention this tower is that actually this was the place where I first lived when I moved to Dubai. And as a tenant, I can actually relate to what I'm saying right now because I truly enjoyed my stay there. Yes, it's not the most modern tower. Yes, it doesn't have the fanciest facilities like some of the newer launches, but the size of the one bedroom was 100 square meters, which was more than enough to even live with a small family in there. I didn't just move in and live for 1 year. I actually even extended my stay there because I felt like it was a very good deal, considering that in my first year, I didn't have a car. I didn't want to buy one yet before, settling in and knowing that everything's stable, which made it really easy for me to actually move around town. And I had the access to everything I needed in my first year just by being in that place. Besides that, I always saw so many tourists coming in and out on the Airbnb units in the same tower. So I really saw the actual demand there. Moreover, my landlord actually renovated that place and made it really stunning, which I'm pretty sure didn't double the price of the unit, but definitely increased it by at least 20 to 30% because I personally would have been quite interested to purchase it as well. And yes, in this tower, I didn't invest, so pardon me for including it here, but this is a tower where I would actually consider investing. The fourth tower that I want to mention, which is where me and my clients bought and sell a couple of units, is Peninsula by Select Group, a proper master community in Business Bay. That's very rare. Landscaped, marina access, cafes, and community vibe, all on the Business Bay Canal with really easy access to almost anywhere. Peninsula is a more recent handover by Select because they just have a bigger, larger area there to develop. So some of the towers are still in progress, but I see huge potential there. And even that now the prices are actually quite high there, you can still find some really exclusive, unique units with some corner views to downtown, including Burj Khalifa, which will really perform tremendously well for both Airbnb and long-term rentals. And I'll pop some examples on this screen so you can see the prices and you can also compare it with the rents. I don't think this is the highest yielding tower, however, is definitely one of those towers that will have a really good long-term quality and won't require you so many maintenance requests and updates. Number 5 is also a tower by Select Group, and that is 15th Northside. Super sleek finish and premium location, being just in front of the Damac Maison Canal Views, where I actually lived, and I personally saw the construction of the 15th Northside tower throughout the whole period. 15th Northside has the more polished tenant appeal. They have amazing gym indoors and also outdoors. The infinity swimming pool, which is overlooking the downtown and Burj Khalifa, won't ever be covered because there is the canal in front of it, so you will always have those views. And of course, if you actually buy one unit with the Burj Khalifa views, you will keep that. If you're looking for liquidity, brand appreciation, and quality, this is it. Again, maybe not the highest in rental yield expectations, because most of the best performing towers in Business Bay are actually done by developers who mainly focus on supply rather than quality. And I don't want to say that's bad. That's actually another type of development, another strategy. You either do it in more unique niche markets or you do it for the mass market. So the mock units or the YAR units, which are a bit older, they really perform a little bit better. Number 6 is a tower by Bengati, and that is the Bengati Canal, which is just the neighbor on the left side from 15th North side. It's bold. It has all these stunning same views as the 15th North side, but it's more budget friendly. Flashy design that appeals to young professionals, but they also have larger units, which appeals to smaller and mid-sized families. It's really affordable pricing versus the nearby towers or even the ones in front of it over the canal, which it's supposed to be more expensive and it's better located. However, I personally would prefer this one because it's actually overlooking the downtown. You have the unobstructed views to Burj Khalifa, which will never be closed, and you will keep it for you or rent it very easily. The design makes people click and the location is actually super appealing. If you want a good location, visibility, and really quick rentals, then this tower is for you. You probably should also check the larger units in this tower because they're actually more favored, at least from what I've been looking into the market. But also the smaller units are really good as well, and they will definitely return you some good payback on your investment. Finally, we have a new developer that I haven't mentioned in this video, and that is Omniad, and the tower is called the Pad. Smart home style units with boutique vibes. The Pad itself as a building is really incredible. It has amazing design, amazing location, and it really gives you the best you can find in Business Bay for that price. Ideal for high margin short stays, but also really good for long-term stays, especially for these smaller units where you have immaculate designs indoors and finishings as well versus some of the previously mentioned towers, which also shows in the actual price of the units in the Pad. However, you really will find your buyer and your tenant. The daily rate is higher, occupancy is very solid. Even the distressed deals or sales don't really happen often because people really stick to that tower, and most of the owners are actual end users. If you're focused on quality specifically and also Airbnb optimization, then this one is your right choice. And again, I'll leave a couple of examples on the screen so you can see how the tower looks and also what kind of apartments are there, and maybe you find something good for you. But if you don't, always reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you throughout the buying process or source one of these units specifically and exclusively for you. Nevertheless, if you want to tap into properties like this, but without the hassle of full ownership, check out SmartCrowd. They let you invest fractionally in Dubai's top-performing units, like some of the ones we just covered. SmartCrowd handles the property management, gives you access to the actual full cash flow, and it's regulated by the DFSA. Great way to diversify with smaller capital. These 8 towers that I mentioned are not sponsored picks. These are real units either I've personally invested in or helped clients to buy it, and they've proven themselves. And actually, to prove you the point, if you actually are one of the owners there and you want to sell something in those mentioned towers, hit me up because I'm always interested in them and I might actually buy directly from you. You don't necessarily need to buy off plans nowadays and wait for years until your income would click. These towers are ready, rentable, and already making cash flow. If you want me to do another deep dive into one of the trending locations, JVC, Marina, Dubai Hills, you name it, drop it in the comments below. And as always, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more Dubai property insights, and I'll see you in the next one.